So the question is, what is going to happen with this real estate market? Hi, this is Tony English from English Realty once again. I want to give you a little bit of a detailed reason and account for why I think the market is going to keep going up, and it's going to go up substantially. I know that's against what you hear from a lot of people. There's a lot of people thinking, oh, I'm going to wait till it crashes, because we all have the memory of the 2007, 2008 crash, and they think that's a normal cycle, but that was an anomaly. We do have cycles in real estate, but that was an extreme anomaly. That's not going to happen again, and I'll tell you why. But first, let's talk about the dollar. What's happening with the dollar? We're over $30 trillion in debt right now. We spend more on interest on the debt than we do on the entire military, which is the number one responsibility to the federal government, is to keep America safe. But instead, we're paying interest on the debt that we borrowed from other countries, and the Fed just keeps printing money like crazy. This happened in a way back in the late 70s or early 80s, and the inflation just spiraled out of control. And they did stop it by raising rates very, very high at the federal level to cause a recession on purpose, and then to slowly grow back. And we had 20, 25, 30 years of steady growth. If you remember, Ronald Reagan was very unpopular his first term because the economy was in an extreme recession. But the next term that he ran, he even got the votes of most of the Democrats because the economy was booming. And it was all because Volcker, under his direction, corrected the federal spending and the federal problems of taxing and all that. So the economy grew, and that's one way to get out of inflation, is to have a growing economy. The problem is, this time, they're not going to be able to do that. They're spending money like crazy. The whole culture has changed. People are not looking at what's best for the country. They're looking at how to get power. So if you could take other people's money and to buy power, you'll do it all day long. And that's what's happening. Even the Republicans and the conservatives are doing the same thing. They have donors that they need to give a special project to. We have students who want their loans paid off. We have, everybody wants what they want. You know, after COVID, everybody got free money and they want more. They want to be included. So our culture has changed, number one. Number two, the government is way out of control on spending. And also, number three, is the rest of the world is trying to get off the dollar. And so countries are starting to move off the dollar. What's going to happen if that happens? The only reason the dollar is strong right now is that the other countries are using the dollar as a stable anchor. And even though everybody else's currency is spiraling out of control, the dollar seems strong compared to those right now. However, there's a big push throughout the world to get off the dollar. When that happens, that means dollars come back home. They're only good here in a relative sense. So what happens is the dollar goes down in value. We're going to have more dollars spread it around, and it doesn't make people richer, it makes them poorer because the dollar is losing value. So, but what happens is, to get the products and services done, employers and service providers, raise the payments to their workers. You can see what's happening with the UAW and all the different unions that are getting more and more money. This is the beginning of a spiraling, out of control inflationary expansion, and there's just no way out of it this time, because last time we had our debt in the federal government on long-term bonds and long-term debt. This time a lot of it's short-term, and if they raise rates enough to stop inflation, they won't be able to make the payments themselves on their refinancing debt. So we're in a catch-22. The government only has two choices. One is do something to cause the economy to grow, and that could happen with technology, maybe some new energy discoveries, something like that could really change the world. But barring that, the only other option they have is to let inflation run, because that'll lower what they owe based on real dollars. So how does this affect the real estate market? Last time in the late 1970s, houses went way up in value for two reasons. One, actually they went up in price and slightly in value. They went up in price because the dollar crashed in its value. And I'll show you a chart of the interest rates back then. But what happened was because the dollar was going down in value so quickly, people scrambled, and family trusts, insurance companies, investment firms started buying real estate because real estate was a perfect hedge against inflation. And not only that, because so many people were buying into the real estate, it actually drew up the value of the real estate too. So we have a lot going on all at once, and it's a perfect storm. So people are saying, I'm going to wait to sell my house and buy something new because I have such a low interest rate right now, and interest rates are so stinking high, I'm going to wait. Well, you know what? This 7% interest rate, it's going to seem very, very low in the near future. So if you're thinking about making a move up, or if you're thinking about jumping into real estate, don't wait. You're going to regret it. You need to get going, because what happens is the lenders need to make a few percentage points above the long-term inflation. So when they give a loan for 30 years, they need to make, on an average, over that 30 years, 2% above what the inflation rate is. And so the smart money knows that interest rates are going to go up and the inflation is going to happen. So if you get a loan right now at 7% and interest rates go to 14, 16%, you're way ahead of the game. And the thing that's happening is with inflation right now, they're saying it's just under 4%. And part of that, 30% of the inflation is the rents that are out there. And rents are going to keep going up and up and up and up. And so the cost of goods and services is going to go up and up and up. So you could buy gold, but gold will float pretty much up or down just with interest rates. But real estate is different than gold because people need to live somewhere. There's a shortage of housing, and that's why right now prices are still high, and they're going to continue to go high because there's a shortage of housing. And the rich are going to get richer, and the poor are going to get poorer because when you have to rent and you have to increase the rent every year, it's going to hurt a lot of people. So if you have any thoughts of waiting, you're making a big mistake. So in my opinion, you'll see that I'm right in the future, and you're gonna think back and you go, "Wow, I should have bought something." I hope that you all hear what I'm saying. There's a lot more to this. If you have any more questions, give me a call. But if you're thinking about buying or investing in real estate, now's the time. So give me a call and we can talk some more. Thanks.